Deputy Speaker, it's an honour to follow the honourable gentleman from Gedling, and indeed an honour to follow all honourable members from both sides of the House in what has been an extraordinarily powerful and emotional debate. I have not been able to think of anyone other than my great-grandmother over the course of this afternoon. She was born in 1895, and she lived with me and my parents until she died when I was 9 in 1987. She was a great woman, Madam Deputy Speaker, a foreboding matriarch, and I loved her dearly. She gave me my first job, which was taking her tea in the morning and putting whiskey in it, for which I received the princely sum of 10p a week, which was a great deal to a 7-year-old in 1985. And I'd sit on her bed whilst she sipped her tea and whiskey, and she'd tell me stories. One morning I remember her asking her why her friend, who I'll call Miss H, had never married. And she told me about this terrible war in which all the young men had gone away and had not come back. It made me cry. It makes me cry now. I found out subsequently that my great-grandmother's husband, a guy called Harry, a cider farmer in Somerset, had not gone to war because he had a heart murmur. It's a very curious moment in history where biological weakness actually causes your DNA to be passed on. Miss H didn't have any such luck. I found out that subsequently she'd worked in a butcher's shop, and when the butcher died, much to the shock of the town, he left her the business, not his wife. We don't know whether it was love, but if it was, it speaks perhaps of a time in which there weren't very many men around. I think of them all now. In the first census that came after the Great War, first census in 1921, it was revealed that there were 1.7 million more women than men in Britain, and press and politicians rather coldly and cruelly dubbed them the surplus women. I also think of a speech that was given in a school in Bournemouth, quite close to where I grew up, in 1918, and the headmistress is said to have said to the girls, "I've come to tell you a terrible truth. 9 out of 10 of you will not marry. This is a mathematical fact. The local men who you would have married have been killed, and you must make your way in the world as best you can." Well, indeed they did. They went out and made the best of it, and went on to ensure that their gender was no longer quite so defined by their relationship to men. All of those men who died were sons, and many of them were brothers, and many of them were husbands. But a great many of them were not married, and the women they didn't marry either. This generation of maiden aunts was widowed before they were wed. I dare say a great many of them had enormous satisfaction from the jobs and the lives that they built. But as D.H. Lawrence wrote, if mutual love is like a magnet's keeper closing the round, then for a great many, the years to come were incomplete. I say their sacrifice deserves no less remembrance. Yeah.